Hi everyone, I am here to talk about spiritual formation and what it is and who does the forming and who's being formed. And um, we're going to refer to Christian spiritual formation in this video. And when we make that reference to um, that term, spiritual formation, it really means just to be formed to be more like Christ, being made in the image of Christ, and being more like Him. Um, can also be used and is used as a general term to refer to anything um, that causes transformation in either in the inner man or will or heart, spirit, but also in the outer behavior of a person. And when we are being spiritually formed, um, it is a choice on our part, though we are saved through grace. Grace um, does not warrant us doing or working for our salvation, but um, becoming spiritually formed does require action on our part. Though we cannot do it in and of ourselves until we have received the grace from the Holy Spirit. And as we open ourselves up to being made new, being made more like Christ, and less looking like a sinner, then we are made over a period of time to be more like Christ by the Holy Spirit. So it requires action on our part, and yet we cannot do it in and of ourselves. So though it is us making a choice and an effort, it is only done through the work of the Holy Spirit and the grace of God in our life. There is the working in the inner man, so the heart, and then there's the outward behavior. And you can have one or the other, but it's not true spiritual formation unless you have a working of both. Just having outward behavior and not truly being changed on the inside in the thoughts and processes of our heart and mind and motives, um, really does nothing for us and leaves us empty and dry. We can also have the opposite. We could have great intentions in our heart, and yet maybe we're struggling with totally giving all of our actions and behavior and time and lifestyle and addictions or things like that over um, to Christ and over to God, and allowing Him to have control over those things. So it's definitely a dance. It's definitely um, though it's action on our part, it also takes the Holy Spirit in our life working. Um, Spiritual formation in a church setting is usually looked at in more concrete terms like a teaching or spiritual discipline such as reading the Bible or um, praying or having mentors or having so it's those are a lot of the ways that the church has tended to steer towards as far as how are you formed spiritually. um, and those things are good. They're not all, I think, altogether necessary unless you unless they're needed for you to be formed. So it's a very fluid term, and yet it is a term I think that has come back into use within the church, capital C, because it has been missing. There has been a missing piece, I think, in um, in having consistent, mature Christians who are looking like Christ and not the world.